You ever seen a grown woman nearly pop a blood vessel over a bucket of trout? I have. Picture this. Sheriff steps out of his cruiser, hat crooked, face all scrunched up like he's trying to do math in his head for the first time in 20 years. He looks at me, at Linda Hartwell's surgical-grade porch across the street, then back at the bucket of rainbow trout slapping water onto my boots. So let me get this straight. He says real slow, "She called 911 because you were transporting fish?" And I just nod, still gripping that bucket, trout splashing like they're in on the joke. It's early, sun's barely up, water glinting off the pond, painting little rainbows on the gravel drive. Then you've got Linda, HOA president and self-proclaimed defender of the ecosystem, standing there shrieking like she just found out her favorite soap got canceled. He's draining our lake. He's destroying the whole ecosystem. This is environmental terrorism. Her voice could peel paint off the siding, I swear. The sheriff takes the papers I hand him, property deed, water rights, survey, flips through them, snorts, actually laughs, and when he looks back at Linda, he's got the face of a man who's broken up more arguments about lawn gnomes than actual crime. "Ma'am," he says, "according to this paperwork, he owns the lake." And just like that, Linda's jaw drops so hard a heron takes off from the shore, squawking like it saw a ghost. For a minute, all you can hear is the fish in my bucket and Linda struggling to reboot her brain. "Oh, right, name's Cole Maddox. I run a little aquaponics farm on the edge of Riverbend Estates. Real fancy place, full of folks who pay a premium to live near nature, as long as no one actually touches it. Feeding birds, moving animals, even planting a new bush, all strictly forbidden. 2 years back, I bought 15 acres that everybody thought was just a decorative pond behind my house. Joke's on them, because that pond is my business, spring-fed, fully stocked, centerpiece of my sustainable fish operation. But then came Linda, president of the HOA, self-appointed guardian of all things natural. The same lady who once threatened to sue a kid for riding his scooter without community standard safety gear. Her idea of nature is a yard full of color-coordinated plastic flamingos and a document 3 pages long dictating the proper angle for your American flag. I should have known trouble was coming the morning she spotted me moving mature trout into a transport tank, getting ready to expand my operation. Most folks wouldn't even notice, but Linda's got binoculars for eyes and a sixth sense for anything that might give her an excuse to use her official HOA business clipboard. By the time I hauled my 3rd bucket, she was already plotting, probably had a draft complaint on her phone before I even locked the tank. Ping. First text comes through. "Cole, several concerned residents have observed you tampering with the community water feature. Cease relocating fish immediately. This is your first and final warning." Well, I answer back, polite, factual, told her that pond is on my land, private property, not under HOA jurisdiction. Apparently, that's like waving a red flag in front of a bull. Next day, there's a letterhead so fancy it could have doubled as a wedding invitation taped to my door. $250 fine for unauthorized extraction of neighborhood wildlife. I emailed back with all the property records, boundaries highlighted in neon yellow. Try to keep it civil, but you know how that goes. Linda doesn't back down. If anything, she doubles down, spreads the word to every neighbor who'll listen that I'm draining communal natural resources. Post pictures of me online, big red arrows, water thief at large, talks about collapsing property values like I'm running an illicit trout cartel. She even stands up at the monthly HOA meeting and accuses me, dead serious, of operating an illegal trout laundering ring. I still have no idea what she thinks that means, but the way she said it, half the room gasped, and I swear, Gerald, her husband, looked ready to sink into the carpet. In the next few weeks, 3 cease and desist letters arrive. Real, printed, scented with lavender. Each one delivered by poor Gerald, who looks more embarrassed every time. The 3rd letter is all legal threats and talk of irreparable ecosystem damage. Meanwhile, I keep working, stubborn as a mule, because spite makes great fertilizer, and, honestly, I wasn't about to let her run my life. But Linda's not done. Nope. She forms a Save Our Lake committee, matching t-shirts, a logo her nephew made on Photoshop, the works. They hold lakeside vigils, wine, folding chairs, a lot of passive-aggressive glaring in my direction to protect duck welfare. It'd be funny if it wasn't so pathetic. Then comes the real show. I need to partially drain the pond for maintenance, something you gotta do every few years to clear out sediment and check the liner. Plus, I'm installing a better filtration system, which, ironically, would actually help the pond, the very thing Linda claims she cares about. I post notices on my property, tell the neighbors close by, schedule it for a weekday. But at 7 a.m., when the pump truck shows up, Linda just loses it. She storms out onto her porch, bathrobe, pearls, and, I kid you not, a bullhorn. "Environmental destruction in progress," she yells. "Our beloved lake is being assassinated." By 7:30, she's called 911, claims an ecological catastrophe is unfolding, demands immediate intervention. Sheriff shows up, lights blazing, looking half amused, half annoyed. Deputy Morrison's the one who comes over. He's got the patience of a saint, must have heard every ridiculous complaint in the book. I hand him my folder, organized as if I expected a court trial right there by the water. Deed, survey, water rights, everything. But the real kicker is a 1993 agreement I dig out. The one that says every single sprinkler and fountain in Riverbend pulls its water from my pond. HOA's been renting those rights since before Linda even lived here. Morrison reads it, eyebrows up, then looks at Linda, who's vibrating on her porch like she might actually explode. "So you're the current owner?" he asks. "Yup," I say, and I've honored the old agreement out of goodwill, but honestly, I'm about done. I can see the gears turning as the news sweeps through the neighborhood. By lunch, every homeowner knows Linda's crusade just endangered the water supply for the whole place. That night, I call for an emergency HOA board meeting. People are packed in, pressed along the walls, a low buzz of gossip running through the room. I'm ready. PowerPoint, handouts, every detail mapped out. Walk them through the agreement, highlight the termination clause. Either party can dissolve this contract with 48 hours notice, I say. Given the harassment and baseless accusations, I'm invoking that clause, effective now. Instant chaos. People shouting questions, someone faints in the back. Maybe unrelated, maybe not. Gerald's got his face in his hands. Linda's gone white as those HOA-approved ceramic gnomes. And the treasurer, Tom, is already calculating how much it'll cost to haul water for 200 homes. "You can't do this!" Linda screams, nearly flipping her chair. "This is blackmail." "No, ma'am," I reply. "This is perfectly legal." I keep my cool, lay out my terms. All fines and accusations dropped, public retraction in the HOA newsletter, a formal apology from Linda, printed, posted on every community board. Oh, and she needs to resign as president. Immediately. For 10 years. And yes, I want a plaque by the pond, big enough for everyone to see. This water, generously provided by Cole Maddox Family Farm. Do not upset him. You could hear a pin drop. Then, from the back, someone actually claps. The board votes on the spot. Linda abstains, of course, calls it an aquatic coup d'etat. But the rest of them? Unanimous. They sign every term. Gerald hustles Linda home, and her resignation letter is in my inbox the next morning. I resign under protest and duress. You'll regret this. The plaque is up by lunchtime, brass, engraved, even fancier than I wanted. Now, here's where it gets good. That night, Linda posts her own reflection on the neighborhood forum, calls it a time for reflection and trout. It's peak passive-aggressive, claims she was defending the community, implies I'm some kind of pond wizard who bewitched the board. The comments section is brutal. Someone posts a gif of a dancing fish that gets more likes than her whole rant. Within a week, the new water lease is finalized. Better pricing for me, airtight anti-harassment clauses. HOA picks up all maintenance costs going forward. Linda? She pivots to blogging about eco-conscious hydration and ethical lawn alternatives. Last I checked, she had 11 followers, most of them, judging by the names, probably bots. Now she walks by my property every morning, head high, eyes straight ahead, pretending she can't see the shiny new plaque. A month later, a local kid wins the elementary school science fair with a project titled How One Man Owns All the Water, a study in resource management. I give him a tour. He writes, Mr. Maddox is pretty cool. Mrs. Hartwell should have been nicer to the fish guy. Legendary. 6 months out, 3 more board members quit, burned out from the Linda era. The new folks are reasonable, friendly, happy to keep things simple. They even let me set up a little farm stand at the entrance. Fresh produce, eggs, trout every Saturday morning. And just to put the bow on it, the HOA's attorney bills Linda $8,400 for legal fees, which Gerald tells me made her turn 3 shades of purple. So that's how a bucket of trout turned into the greatest HOA showdown Riverbend ever saw. But let me throw it to you. What do you think? Was I right to hold my ground, or did I go too far? Is property law justice, or just a game for whoever's got the best paperwork? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me where you're watching from. And hey, if you've got your own wild HOA story, don't be shy. The more outrageous, the better.